Krishna tuñ thang ông mà chăng sẽ từng đón nắng na miệt đang áo ngang mê ai từ na mẹ ta ơi đòi con ơi phong nát lại vừa mà đánh ban neng mọc ấy lâu cô nâng xôm bao ôi trái tây rồi hai con lý pre con thay bom pin ni sai preng bay đà. Thank you for having me here. I know you are very busy, but thank you for choosing to be here. And some of you students who went to Cambodia are here too. We hosted them. Thank you for being here also. Thank you for the school for having me here. I know you have worked hard to have me here, and this is my first time in Abu Dhabi. It's hot like Cambodia. This form of the musical that I've just shared with you called smote. It's very ancient Buddhist chanting, and it's being used in ritual ceremony, and it's beautiful. Some people, and quite haunting, and some people scared of it. I am sharing this song with you because in Cambodia right now we had a very important festival called Chum Ben. It's a national festival where all Cambodians goes to the temple and pray, and also remembering and in gratitude to parents, to masters who came before them, and giving them life, giving them their knowledge. So this is very special, and I want to wish everybody in Cambodia also happy and safe Chum Ben there. But in one point, at one point, this tradition were almost lost forever. Our music, like the smote, I just did that for you, almost also lost forever. This kind of tradition were passed on in Cambodia, were passed on from masters to student, one to one. It was not written down. So like from 1975 to 1979, when the Khmer Rouge took over Cambodia, music banned, all traditional and ritual banned, artists killed, and also the instruments, all kind of instruments burned and destroyed. I found out that during the Khmer Rouge era, 90% of all the performing artists died. And even before that, 500,000 tons of American B-52 fall into my country, Cambodia, and kill so many people. The way we pass on the music from master to student without writing down meant that this art were in danger of being lost forever. If people cannot pass it on, the knowledge dies and the whole culture dies. My family owned an opera company. They run an opera company before the Khmer Rouge. And I remembered my people love music. They love to go to movie. They love dancing. They enjoy, it's their soul. It's like the roof of their lives. I remembered in a temple when I was, I couldn't wait for the monks to allow us to get out of the temple with my little brother and a little sister. You know, we were in the temple, we were not supposed to to sing love song, but you're supposed to meditate and chanting about the life of the Buddha and the appreciation of his knowledge and all these things. But I couldn't wait to get out of the temple with my little brother and sister. We love ice cream. We bought ice cream and we love ice cream, and I shared it with my little brother and little sister, and movies, and also we sang Sin Si Samut and Residency love ballad, love song from the 60s. It's rock and roll. In the 60s, I remember music was everywhere. And so sometimes my brother and I went to a movie, a Kung Fu movie, and also we went to a movie that, you know, World War II movies. I would come out with my little brother and imitating the shooting, the guy who's on the motorcycle with the machine guns, and also the Kung Fu, you know, like Bruce Lee, and I hit my brother in the head and blood would come out, and we had fun, you know, and I heard about the war with American. I heard the word Americans with Vietnam, but I had no idea what war like, and I heard the artillery far away from my house, so I didn't really care at all. And then when the Khmer Rouge took over in 1975, and my good time was a short-lived. I was supposed to be trained to be an opera star from my father. Didn't happen. And I was just a child then in 1975. I was 12 years old. All of a sudden, I was taken by the Khmer Rouge from my family and forced to live with 700 children in a Buddhist temple, converted into a killing place. They kill every day, systematically kill people 2 or 3 times a day. I was forced to watch a lot of killing, and I was forced to do many things that I didn't want to do. But I had to do it because I want to live. I didn't realize the price I have to pay later on because I want to live. And the killing was everywhere. I was forced also to push people into the grave when the Khmer Rouge killed them. They make a special axe to hit people in the back of the head, and they forced us to watch. And they said, here, if you do like them, we're going to kill you too. And the Khmer Rouge would watch us children in the face if we show an emotion like I am doing right now, like what you are doing right now. They can tell that you sympathize with the victims. They will kill you in an instant. So I learned how to shut myself off. I make myself numb to the situation. That's one thing how I survive. I just want also to share with you, a few years ago, I co-wrote a book with the author, Patricia McCormick. I want to read you an excerpt from the book. Another meeting. This time, the high-ranking Khmer Rouge says, "Who can play music?" No one. No one kid make a move. He says there will be a new music troupe, a band to play songs, and dancer too. We all still like rocks. I think maybe this is test, new way to find out who is elite, who has education and music lesson, or who likes the American imperialists and their singer. They say the band will play for the glory of Angkar. Songs and dance to cheer the worker and teach new ideas. Maybe, I think, maybe you play these songs, maybe they feed you a little more. This is like gamble, like the shoe game back home. You throw the shoe, you eat better. I raise my hand, just give me one bowl of rice, I think, then you can kill me. They choose 6 boys, stick boys, so skinny. And they take us to a wooden building where this old man, white hair, white beard, sit on the floor, instruments all around him. The Khmer Rouge say we have to learn these things in 5 days only. We also have to work in the field, they say. Like the other kid, so the music lesson can only taken at night. The old musician, he gives me the kim, a wooden instruments with many strings. Strings you hit with a bamboo stick. You sit on the floor and play. And it gives a beautiful sound like heaven. I hit the right string sometimes and the wrong string sometimes, but always I hit it too hard. Touch it lightly, say the old man, like a hummingbird wing. Also, he says, you have talent, work harder. All these Khmer Rouge songs are fast songs, fast and happy sounding, and all about revolution, about sacrifices, about hard work, about rice, always rice. Next day I work in the field all day like others, and then go to the old man. 3 days more only, 3 days to learn these things. I almost cried one time. It's so hard. But the old man, he whispered in my ear, learn fast. He said, you don't learn, they're going to kill you. I work very hard now, even harder. This kim, it has so many strings, they swim in my eyes, and I play very fast. Hit one string, then another. So fast, I cannot even see my own hands going. So fast, so many times, I know all those songs in my heart. The other boy, they cannot do it. Next day, the other boys, they don't come to class. The old man, he spent 2 more days teaching me. Then one day he say, now that you learn the song, they're going to kill me. I tell him no. The Khmer Rouge need him to learn the band, to lead the band. He just smiled, very sad, and tell me all other music teacher already dead. He is maybe the last one. The Khmer Rouge don't want anyone who knows the old song. All those old songs gonna die out, he says. This guy, he saved my life, and now he will die, and nothing I can do to stop it. The next day, he doesn't come. The Khmer Rouge appear and then say to me, come to the mango grove to see the old man, see what we do to him. I say, I don't want to see it. I don't know how I can say this. You don't say no to the Khmer Rouge. It is gamble. If the Khmer Rouge kill me now, they don't have anyone to play their song. I think of a minute what my aunt say about how to survive, bend like a grass. But this time I don't bend. I stand a little tall. They go away, and I just play the song alone. I think of the old man, and I play for him in my mind. Scared, but also in the moment, proud. Another boy come now to the building where I learn music. One more Kim player, one guy who can play a fiddle called a trosao, one guy with a drum, and others with instruments like I used to see when my family has an opera. A new music teacher come too, not so old, but this guy is like walking dead man, very sad, like broken heart, nothing living in his eyes. We're gonna be a band now. The Khmer Rouge tell us, no more working in the field. Now we play music all the time. Soon a big meeting is going to happen at the camp. So we have to be ready to play the song perfect. For high-ranking Khmer Rouge, and we have 1 month to learn. We practice music every day now, but never does it sound like a song, more like animals calling out, all different time and very slow, not like the old music teacher taught. The kids in the band, they all too tired, too hungry to give attention to the song. And this new music teacher, he looks asleep all the time, like nothing can make him care. Not even this big meeting coming. And I think all this work, learning the Kim, learning the song, and we all will die anyway. Music somehow saved my life. In 1979, the Vietnamese invaded Cambodia and ousted the Khmer Rouge. I was caught like thousands of other children. They took my instruments away and they gave me guns. We were not trained in the battlefield. We were just trucked out and we on our own. And thousands of children were shot by the Vietnamese. And I knew during the time when if I don't take the gun, I saw them pushing the gun into their hand, to the children's hand, and some of the children were scared and cry and refuse to take the gun and they shoot them. So when it comes to me, again, I know what to do. And I had to figure out how to use the gun while I was in the battlefields. In the battlefield, I saw many children who became my friends, close friends, shot left and right from me, and I feel very powerless. A lot of times they were wounded, and I held them. Blood was all over me, and I can do nothing to help them. I feel powerless, I feel helpless. This particular feeling I never, ever want to have ever again. I had decided to run away by myself into the jungle, following monkey for food. Eventually, I reached a place they call Thailand, where I met Mr. Pond, Peter Pond, a white man. They call him American. So finally, I met somebody I only heard about Americans. He was literally stepped on me when I was, they put me on the weighing, and I was weighing 30 pounds. I was close to die. It was my last leg. And I remembered when he stepped on me, I was in and out of my consciousness, and I remembered he bent down, and I just clung. I just put my arm, all my might. I put my arm around him, around this white cloud. I was flying, and I saw him cry. So the next day he came back, and he was trying, among the many children there dying, he was trying to find me. In 1980, I don't know how he did it, but I ended up in New Hampshire, somewhere I don't know. They call America, the fall of 1980. The first week, he took me to the mall, and I got arrested there. I thought I keep putting stuff in my pockets because I thought it was free, you know. I saw him putting stuff on the tray and asked me to pull. I was so happy that, you know, in the camp they told me that everything in America, you know, a lot of money, there's a lot of building, there's a lot of cars, so you don't have to worry. You come, and I didn't know it. I thought it was free, and I put socks, I put things in my pocket, and then I got arrested when I get out of the mall. The next day, he took me to White Mount Regional High School, where about 700 children, students, they all white. I felt I was outnumbered. I was stunned. And they start laughing. They were stunned also at the hallway, seeing. I had a feeling that they've never seen me before. And I was outnumbered. I smelled the problem already. So not long after that, I was bullied. I was called by them monkey. I didn't know the word, but because I didn't, my problem had been I didn't speak the language. I want to tell them something not to make fun of me, because in Cambodia, I shoot them before they open their mouth. But I couldn't do it there. And it hurts very bad. I want to tell them that it hurts. Stop making fun of me and stop calling me name. I could not find a way to communicate with them. I couldn't connect with them. I felt very isolated. I felt like nobody was on my side. I just walked around the school, and it seems like nobody knows anything about where I just came from. And I did not I'm sure they do not know anything about Cambodia and what just had happened to me and to my brother and sister, my little brother and sister I shared with you earlier. I was suicidal. I wanted to buy guns, in New Hampshire. Our home, it's not near any mall or any store, like 20 miles away. And I ran away from home and I was arrested again. I broke the school windows. I was like a tiger and I didn't know why. I cannot communicate. I had a lot of anger and I was ready to strike all the time. And I couldn't control myself. They put me in a soccer team and we did very well. And they think that it could help me, but I worked really hard. We were state championship 3 or 4 years in a row while I was there, and I run faster than anybody else. I want to have them not to make fun anymore to me, and I worked really hard. So I scored like 2 or 3 goals in a game for 3 or 4 years on a roll, and all of a sudden, the kids will lift. Girls start coming around, and they hug me and all that. But I didn't not know why. I was confused than anything else. I don't know why one day I'm nobody, and the next day this kid, because I play soccer very well. But that I don't want to communicate to them that way. I want to tell them where I came from, not being, playing soccer and all of these things. But my dad knew that I might not survive there. I was really in a deep depression. And I've never seen my dad cry before. After the camp, and then he looked at me in the eyes and said, "You must share your story with these American people if you want them to stop making fun of you." And he looked at me in the eye and say, he worked so hard in his life to bring me here to America, and he will not allow me to die here. If I die, he's going to die, my mom's going to die, the whole family going to die with me. I thought, he was kidding. He hugged me and he cried, and I pushed him away, and I felt like I was a bad kid, and why he should continue to love me. I had never anybody hugging me like that. But he continued, so I started to speak out. First I thought that American kid would not want to care of what I say to them, no matter what, because they always busy. American kids, they love malling. They go to the mall all the time. And one thing I noticed is they like kissing. They're so busy kissing each other. I don't know anything about kissing. There's no boyfriend and girlfriend in Cambodia, and something totally I don't understand. But something I know that something similar that they might be a chance that I can communicate with them, because I noticed that when they go to the mall, they love ice cream. They go and eat ice cream just like I did when I was in Cambodia earlier. So something similar. They like music also. So something, I took my dad advice, and I started to share my story very slowly. I said, I will try. Eventually, it took many years. I also start playing my music again to them. Not until the movie called it the Titanic movie, when I brought my flute here. So when I play my flute and I don't have to speak about my experiences, and some of the kids cry. So I don't know why they cry, just play music. They said, oh, I love your flute. It sounded like the movie, the Titanic. So something that they can connect. And for me, the flute, again, I play, again, I was be able to connect with the student and connect to my own family, connect, my heart. I was living at the daytime in America, but at night, I was back in Cambodia. I was confused. And all these years, I didn't even know where my dad or my mom or my family and why I ended up in America in the first place. This time, the music didn't save my life, but it saved my soul. And I didn't go insane. And I know one day that I have to go back to Cambodia, and I began also already, when these kids like what I say, they're not only listen, but they start giving me money. They give me money, so I know that these kids are very kind. When I was wrong, I told my dad that I think this kid would not care, but if they know the story, they would care. And so I began to raise money and went back to Cambodia in the 1990s. And I tried to find my family where the place where I came from, and I couldn't find anyone. But I found on the street, one day I went to Battambang, where I was born. In the late 90s, I found Master Mac. 23 years we were separated, and he was cutting hair for the ex-Khmer Rouge soldier. And he looked at me, and we hugged each other, and also he was smiling, but I can smell he was drinking, and he was drunk, and he cried, tears coming out of his eyes. And he said, where have you been all these years? I told him America. He doesn't have no idea where America is. But he said, Arn, please find something for me to do. He doesn't want to die drunk. He wanted to teach. He thought that I knew what he wants. And I came back to America a few times and think about what he really wants. So I started raising money and with these young people and children in America, and then I brought it back to Cambodia. A few trips, and there were few more masters on the street of the capital that had no chance to. They were disoriented. They were old and fragile, and most of them were drunk. And these are household name. These masters are household name. Before the Khmer Rouge, they were the king and the queen of their skill, and no way people treating them that way. So this is how Cambodian Living Arts started, together with some of my close friends from America, dedicated friends, and we start to match masters and students. And we began classroom like everywhere. I didn't have money to have a place, so we started like a school without wall. So anywhere I found a master, and I allowed them to teach the younger generation. And the first step was to preserve and revive and transmit the knowledge to the next generation. Now it's Cambodian Living Arts 20th anniversary. And we have come so far. Even the kids in our very first classes own their own troupe and business, and are creating incredible new work like music, dance, film, and literature, and visual arts, you name it. We are also running a scholarship and fellowship now that in Cambodia I've never heard of before. We stage demonstration and performances and festival. I was just in Siem Reap, one of the provinces that for the Rap Festival. It was a new traditional music form around Asia. We brought together artists from Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, and Taiwan, Japan. We are hosting it. Our young people, our young musicians are hosting it. There, when my little dream come closer and closer now, when I see this beautiful Laotian girl exchange musical instruments with the Cambodian girl, and they play each other instruments. My dreams, coming closer to my reality, that my little secret dream is to, I wish for all Cambodian child to carry musical instruments, not guns like I did. And I wish this for the world. I wish this for young people here too. And also I spend now in the program of Cambodian Living Arts, one of the programs that I like the most, like you mentioned, I spend most of my time now with something called the Khmer Magic Music Bus. It's the first Khmer Magic Music Bus in Cambodia, which we are trying to reintroduce Khmer traditional music, art form into the country, remote countryside. When we perform, especially these children was born from the Khmer Rouge families. Their first clapping, they never clapped before. They come like a ghost, they don't know the instruments. They've never touched an instrument, musical instruments before. So their first clapping, they learn how to clap when we play. And I used to have, when we perform, I used to have a flute and give to the little kids, and they touch it and they blow it, they run off into the jungle, they blow it, and then they were happy. At least they come as a community. At least they are sitting with each other and listen to music for the first time in their lives. And I'm sure they will die remembering this time when I offer this to them. In Cambodia, I see how much music can help us to express ourselves, and especially to heal ourselves, to communicate with each other from different backgrounds and different generations. Music connect between past and the future, and let us understand who we are and where we have come from. I know there are also still conflict and war, and children died every day, and children still giving guns, even in this region, in this part of the world. And killing of the people also occur in the Middle East. And what can I do as Cambodian? I can, at least, even if I cannot play my flute, which I could do it in some part of the world. But I could offer today. I could come when you ask me to come. I could offer my speaking to you, hopefully contribute myself and console you and continue to connect you how I feel and to learn about Cambodian situation and remind you of what's happening even around us, around this region, that there are wars going on even now, killings going on even now, and offering my playing with you. That's what I can do. I want to save the whole world, like you. I want to do whatever I can to save the world, but I cannot. I have to be in one place at one time, one village at a time, with the Khmer Magic Music Bus, and I could find my way to do many other more things. But most important for me is that first step is that I am useful, to find out that I am useful. I didn't want to kill myself anymore. because I am useful. So that's the first step for me, to find way through music. And when I play music every time, like I play for you soon, literally playing the flute and singing the smode. I was just singing, chanting for you. This is the only, I just learned it. I just learned it. And I wanted to learn my language, Cambodian language. Through song, I could do it better. I'm very slow. I am very slow. I'm very slow. And music, I literally control. It calms myself down. I really control myself. I can control myself. So I would like to do the same. I would like, before I end and play the flute for you, to invite all of you here, and also to back the school here, not only have short-term relationship with us, with Cambodian Living Arts, but to have long-term relationship with Cambodia. I don't take a chance anymore. 30 years ago, there were no Cambodian Living Arts in Cambodia. The politicians were bickering and start bombing, very like that. 500,000 tons were dropping bombs. They call it a lunch, breakfast, and dinner. They dropped B-52, and nobody say anything because they trust the politicians and business people. I don't take the chance anymore. This November, the 40th anniversary of the end of the Khmer Rouge and the 20th anniversary of Cambodian Living Arts, we are hosting a kind of a festival that never happened before in Cambodia called the Arts for Peace. That's something we can do together. It costs money. It costs money, a lot of money. We have it already. It's plenty of money around the world. If American can spend $700 million a day on war, a day, it makes me cry. It's plenty of money. While I have to cry all the time to make $1. How hard it has been for me for these 30 years. But I do it for myself. I do it for my people, for my country. I do it for the children of the world so they wouldn't have to go through what I went through. I make sure that happen, that peace will come through music, through healing. I do it for myself, nobody else. I couldn't imagine what I would die if I don't do this work. And I'm not going to wait for a politician to hold my hand. Oh, you're a dreamer, you're a musician, sorry for you. Here, $1 million for you to start another Cambodian Living Art. They're not going to do it. They're not going to come and hold your hand. And many of you are very lucky to have school like this. I want to remind you, all of you again, to have a school, to have parents who love you, to have teacher who loves you. They cater you every minute of your day. I hope you know that. Their love, all they want is that you continue to love, to care about other people, not for them, but for others. They would be happy. And I'm glad we had Phum Ben in Cambodia, a big celebration to say thank you to master, to teachers, to parents who give us life. And we should continue that legacy. So before I end, I would like to also invite you to come to the festival. We're going to be happy. We're going to have traditional music. We're going to have tens of thousands young people, masters, young masters, that being taught by the older master who have died now one by one. And we have group and organization come together, and we have classical dance, classical music side by side with pops, with we reintroduce hip hop for the first time. I'm a Cambodian American, what can I say? That's who I am, and I'm proud of it. Using music for peace, not for money, not for war. So I'm proud of it. I know what I'm doing. And please join us in November 14 to November. Some of you might be going, I have a feeling, 14 to 24th, 10 days. 10 days. Please join us and support those and be solidarity, united with us with that art for peace and come. I would like to play for you a lullaby. I have traveled with this flute. Now it's my weapon now. Wherever I go, it's easy to hide also. I put just in the M16 and AK-47 is hard to hide. But here I can hide it and nobody bother. I mean, at the airport they say, what is that? What is that? I said, flute, man. They would recognize if I carried, AK-47, of course. But they say, what is that? What is that? I say, what does it look like? It's a flute. So they pick up and they play at the, I play for them at the airport and all these things. Musical instruments, please. No gun. No gun. And this, I'm going to play a lullaby song that I found out that lullabies is sung everywhere. They have their own lullaby, every country in the world. It was also silent during the Khmer Rouge, but now I hear mothers are now harvesting rice, start singing this song, particularly song again. So I, again, thank you for choosing to be here today. Thank you very much. Thank you.